Welcome all back to another episode of You Don't Like That? The welcome all.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. You know, I practiced it in my head a couple times. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. You got me. You got me. But yeah, so welcome back. We're on the catch again. Hey, it's me, Jeremiah. This is Taylor. That's the guy, the King David. This is Shepherd,
What the heck?
The leader of the flock, and that is Hadassah, Hadassah Jameson. Today, we are speaking about
Nicknames are
a
atrocious.
topic I'm very excited about, guys. We're talking about our first encounter, our first interaction, that moment in the movie where you fall in love, but not with a person, with Jesus. So, today we're gonna go around the square table and we are going, no, it's actually a rectangle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
And we're going to talk about, how you fell in love with Jesus, what happened? Like, what was it, cause we grew up in church. Everyone thinks, some people think
very
that
good start.
we're just like born saved, come out the womb, speaking in tongues.
My bad.
But you're absolutely fine. But that's not the case. Everyone has to have
Came out the womb speaking in
exactly
tongues.
right. Everyone has to have an encounter. Everyone has to have a moment. So kind of speak on that. Like, how do you,
I would actually like to start right there.
Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of us grew up in church, and I think it's important to. You can argue that it's technically your first interaction with Jesus, right? Raise up a child, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart, right? So it's good to instill those Christian habits early.
Yeah.
Church habits early. You stand, you clap,
yes.
you give,
know what
right?
to do.
It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. But it is important to distinguish your first interaction with church per se versus your first interaction with Jesus.
Yes.
Because that's something very, very different.
Yes.
Every individual, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're raised in church, not raised in church, raised in a different religion or whatever it is, you always, and you're now a Christian, you at some point in time had to make a decision that you're going to love him and live for him, right? And give your life to him, right?
Yes.
And there is a demarcation that happens in every individual's life where that situation happened.
Right.
Okay. First one that pops to mind is Paul.
Yeah.
Right. Or Saul at the time on his road to Damascus. Hits him with to a super bright light. How long will you kick against the pricks?
Hi-ya.
Right? Light blinds him. He's blind for 3 days. From that point on, goes on saving generations of Gentiles.
Yes.
So I think that's a really good point that you made. That first interaction with Jesus is not necessarily your first interaction with church. It's that time where you really was made aware of who he is.
Yes.
And decided to get to know him.
Yes. I think that's a very great point because we all grew up in Christian school. And by the grace of God, it was cool to be saved, And sometimes you were very pushed hard to be saved. And if you weren't saved, there was repercussions. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
So I feel like sometimes it's easy to get caught up in like doing this because I have to or doing this because I actually love it type thing. So I think this episode is like a good breakdown of when we had those moments. But I really want to focus on that word love. I feel like a lot of people can have an interaction or an encounter and run into Jesus. And, like some people say this Christian walk is hard, it's tough. But when would you guys say or describe or break down that moment where you like said, wow, I love this, like for real, like God is so good type thing?
Me personally, I would say, and I think Andrew brought out a really good point. Actually, everybody brought out a good point because in terms of just how we were raised, I think a lot of times when it came to your relationship with God, or a lot of times when it came to reading the word, I would say back in the day, I would say I would normally do it probably out of fear.
Right.
Or
That's real.
or like, oh, I don't want to go to hell. But I would say when I really, really fell in love with him was when there was no incentive in order for me to feel like, okay, I'm going to get a reward for this.
Yeah.
Or neither did I feel the punishment at that time. Like, of course, it's like, yeah, if you live for him, you're going to go to heaven. And then, of course, if you don't live for him, you're going to go to hell. But that wasn't even in my gaze, really.
Yeah.
I think it was just simply like, I really want to get to know God. Like, I genuinely want to get to know God for myself. And I think from that moment on, I would say probably like in high school, I was kind of very committed. So it's like I didn't just read the Bible just to read it, to just say, oh, I did this. I wanted to really get to know God. I really wanted to know who he was. And I think this was even said in like an ITY meeting. I thought it was so good that Nate even said, and he was saying how text messages that God sends to us is through his biblical text.
Yeah.
And so it was just like getting to know him, getting to commune with him. Sometimes even if your prayers was just simply conversations and talks with him, like, God, this was my day and this was jacked up.
Yeah.
And so
For real.
it's just being able to speak to a God. It's almost like that song, like, now I know that my Redeemer lives, and I know because I talked to him this morning,
Yeah.
right? And it's like
Yeah.
knowing that the God of the universe, knowing that the God that created every single thing and everything that this world consists of is just talking to me. He's talking back to me, and I feel his comfort, his embrace, and he understands me like none else. So
Yeah.
it's just like seeing that and going through that and feeling his presence. I think that was when I really fell in love with Jesus.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, no, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead. I was waiting for you. Go ahead. I'll go after you.
Okay. I think mine's was, I was probably about 15, and I think you guys were kind of hinting towards this when you mentioned some of the other things you said. But like the retreats that we would have, we used to have youth retreats.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
where you
Yeah.
you were very, very strongly encouraged to have a relationship with God.
How strongly, David? How strongly were you?
Extremely
encouraged?
strong. there was some very persuasive methods that were used
Yes,
to make sure that
100%.
you were devout.
Yes.
Even if you weren't devout, you were going to be devout then.
That's another podcast. That's another podcast.
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
anyways,
No, we will not talk about that.
so mine's is more so, it wasn't really something I did as much as something like he drew me. Because at that particular time, I had already was kind of comfortable with where I was. And obviously your understanding of spiritual things grows as you get older. But for what I understood at that time, I was complacent and I was pretty okay with it. As far as what we knew to be church kids or to be good kids.
Yeah.
And I thought that was okay. So it was the 2018 retreat. And that was the retreat they were telling us about the fear of the Lord, et cetera, et cetera. And that wasn't really my first encounter. My first like encounter where I really like, God, I need you to do something. He really did it. Was after that, when it was like everything was riding on me being a changed individual and me not having the ability to do it.
Yeah.
And I think God really, he had to show me that way because I think as I was growing up, I was becoming very self-reliant or just kind of trying to understand things in a way that I can control them. So right after that, when it was something that you would think would be as simple as helping yourself, I couldn't do. And that is when God really like met me. When I wasn't, before that, I was not looking for him like I should have been. So that was kind of the act of love, like moving first.
Yeah.
That I couldn't have asked for. And it wasn't something that I could have planned or was like hoping like, God, please meet me here. And then he did it. He kind of just showed up and then won my heart before I was even looking for it.
Yeah.
Like Bishop
Wow.
says it a lot. Like he steps to you.
Yeah.
You just have to receive it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my story. And then after that, I fell in love really with church and with serving, but I also fell in love with the peace that I had, knowing that he had my back.
Yeah.
And knowing that regardless of who understood me or regardless of, I had a piece of being misunderstood because my identity was new,
Yeah.
right? It wasn't in anything but him.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that was really my first encounter.
No, that's really good. And I love how you hit on that peace aspect. That was really important in my first interaction or like magical moment where I like really fell in love with Jesus. It was at school. I don't remember the exact year, but it was we were having like some crazy break prayers and there was one time where I was in middle school, but they had stayed over there and they were praying and it was just like a long time. And I'm in class with two other guys and his name is Daniel. He had got up to go to the bathroom and Sister Fowler was our teacher, and he didn't come back. So I was looking around, and I was like, and I'm hearing the music playing next door, and everybody's praying, and I'm like, where is Daniel? And Sister Fowler's like, don't worry about that, do your work or whatever. So then I'm sitting here and I'm trying to strategize, and I'm like, can I go to the bathroom? I'm like, I gotta use the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom.
And she's like, no, Jeremiah, sit down. You're not going to the bathroom. She's like, I know what you're trying to do. We gotta wait till Daniel gets back. And I'm like, Daniel's not coming back, Sister Fowler.
Daniel's not coming back.
So I didn't know what I was desiring, but I know I wanted it. You know what I'm saying? So the class ended, and I ran right over there or whatever, and it was like the anointing was so high. I think they were doing like mountain climbers or God chasers or something at the time.
Yeah.
And they let us just lay out before God in his presence. And I can say that was the first time I really like felt the anointing like so high. And it was just like, I got lost. Like I hated school, guys. I hated school. School was a place where I would wake up and dread.
I liked our school, but I didn't like the idea of school.
The aspect of school in general was just like, oh, I have to do work. Like, so it wasn't like it's a good environment. We have a great school, Peons Christian Academy, but it's just like, I wasn't happy at school. Like I just didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie. And this is the place where God decides to show up. You know what I'm saying? A place where like personally I feel like inadequate, a place where I feel like sad, or a place where I feel like I'm not good enough. God is showing up in this place. So I go over there and I start praying and literally it's like everything disappears. Like there's a peace, there's a presence, like I'm speaking in tongues. And it's like we're laying there for a really long time, like to the point like after they brought waters and like fruit snacks and put them on the altar for us and stuff like that. But it was just such a feeling where I fell in love with his presence. Like it was something that I didn't want to let go of, something that I always wanted to grasp onto. And like when it comes to worship now, it's just like I love imagining or feeling him like flow through me or be around me.
Yes.
And it that moment right there when you get lost and it's like you're laying at the throne of grace, like you're transported there as soon as you start praying. That moment is when I truly fell in love. And I realized that it doesn't take just like, it's a lifestyle you have to live to get closer. And the more you pray, the more you fast, the more you get in his presence. When you have those moments, the stronger they get. So I think I just fell in love with the chasing of being close to him. So yeah, that was kind of my testimony of how, I fell in love with, God.
That's dope.
Beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Mine is kind of different, guys. But those were
different,
beautiful.
guys.
When we got this topic idea, the first thought I had, the first memory I had was being really young, actually. Like I completely agree. Like high school was when everything kind of clicked spiritually, when you developed like relationship and spiritual regimens and like that feeling of being in God's presence and just like unforgettable things. But when I was very, very young, I think that's when I first, we say like God has so many names. And I think when I first found him to be a comforter and to be my friend when I was very young, like, I don't know, somewhere between like 5 and 7 probably. Because it was one of those things where like, when you have things going on in your life that you don't want to share, like outwardly, publicly, but you have also no one to like talk about it with, like at home. So then you have God, like you learn about this person,
right.
and then you actually like start talking to them or just kind of sitting with him, if that makes sense, and kind of just feeling that peace, and also then having that escape of having like church and going to church and feeling this complete and utter like peace and being like, oh, this is for real my home away from home. This is the place where like I feel like I belong. So like that was my first, I would say, experience or interaction of like falling in love with God and knowing that he is there for me in a sense.
Yeah.
Like knowing that he is gonna be someone who's gonna be with me no matter what, and no matter like literally no matter what goes on. I think that's one of my favorite things about our First Lady's testimony. She also had like a very young like bonding with God.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of the things that she was going through in her life.
Yeah.
And so to like have that surety very young is such a cool experience.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it kind of like you and God are locked in basically
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like you met him at such a young time. So that, I think that was like my first like experience fully.
Wow.
I would also like to make the point that falling in love with Jesus is not just a one-time thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
very true.
I would assume with married couples, of course, I'm not married, but it's like you would assume with married couples, when you get married, there's still so much more you have to learn about the person.
Yeah.
So there is still so much more to learn about God.
Yeah.
And I think Paul even says it like we don't know the deepness of God. Like there's still yet to uncover. And even if we were to take this entire lifetime trying to know who he is,
Yeah.
it still wouldn't be enough.
Yeah. Can't
do it.
Because he is so like indescribable. It's just so or indefinable almost in a way.
And that's one of the things that I think excites me about the faith,
Yeah.
because I know there's more.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
it's never like
Always more,
this
yeah.
is the end I can get, or this is the most I can get. It's always
There's
like
always-
what does
yeah.
God have next?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like watching, like, I love movies, guys, but it's like watching a good thriller and you're on the edge of your seat and you're like, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? And because God is such a master storyteller,
Yeah, so
you
good.
know
He's so
it's
good.
just gonna be perfect and grand.
gonna be
and
perfect.
It might be some
Yeah.
things that you have to go through, but
For sure.
it's just because you're in His hands, like you said, like God, you and God are close. It's just it's a very exciting feeling
Yes.
walking in the faith. So that's a good point.
Yes. You said something important. I don't know if you guys caught it. He was talking about how you were talking about how you didn't like school. And you didn't know what you wanted, but you knew that you wanted it, right? And it came in the place where you were uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's something to really pay attention to is if you sometimes you're in a situation where you know of God and you know you need him more and there's a portion of you that actually wants to, but you just almost can't, like, you can't make that connection. You can't, God's hand is like this, but for some reason you can't just, get a grasp on it. He will come in the most uncomfortable times.
Yeah.
Because it has nothing to do with you
Mm-hmm.
and everything to do with him
Mm-hmm.
and everything to do with your heart posture, right? And making that connection with you. So I think that was a very good point that you made is the opportunity came in a place where he was uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, he was willing to do whatever it took to get that. Like David said, God is making the step first. He wants you before you want him.
Yeah.
And he's got his hand out here, but you have to grab it. You have
Yeah.
to receive it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that comes in some of the most inopportune times.
Yeah.
But I guess it's my turn now.
It is.
Tay actually kind of started to say this. I had a couple of firsts, and and like you said, any relationship, there's always there's levels to this.
Yeah.
I got saved October 2012 at a youth meeting on a Friday night. I knew of God. Obviously, I was raised in church. I knew that I needed more,
Yeah.
something different, something else. But I almost had delayed it in a sense, almost like I was scared of it. And I remember, I can't even actually remember exactly what they said that meeting, what was going on that meeting. I just remember that feeling of being like, I got to.
Yeah.
Like, it's time. Like, I got to. That's October 2012. And I remember that. But I think that's something very different. I think I want to focus on a different first. The summer of 2017, Let me back up a little bit. After when we graduate, it's our custom at the PMS Christian Academy. After we graduate, we have what do you call an open house or a graduation party. It's more of a graduation party. Open houses are more like, you just open your house, people kind of walk through, drop off gifts, and then walk away. We do more of graduation party. We rent out whole community centers. A bunch of people come out, support you, hand you money, take your food, and conversate. That's how we really do it. And I remember at mine, I was blessed to have, a pastor and first lady who showed up. Not a lot of people, have pastors and first ladies that do that. And I want to appreciate and honor them for that because, not everybody does that. And our first lady was, having just kind of making small talk with me. Say, what do you plan on doing? This, that, and other. Where are you going? School, college, yada, yada. Cool. And she was like, okay. And she said, let me ask you a question. She said, when did you decide you wanted to live for God? Not when you got saved. She was like, saved is giving your life to Christ, right? Deciding you're going to live for him is when you're willing to sacrifice and suffer in order to do it.
Yeah.
And you're at peace with that.
Yeah.
And I remember she was like, when's the first time you really decided to live for God? And now backing up to the summer after my 11th grade year. My 11th grade year, I had a Bible teacher who was very, very, very passionate, extremely passionate about the word. I had two.
I know you.
Yes. I had two. But one in particular.
But her too, yes.
Her too, no, you're right. One in particular, he was not only interested in like making sure we understood or knew what was required, but it's almost like he was like obsessed with the Bible himself. So much that he wanted to share with you and make you obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember coming out of that 11th grade year, coming out that class into the summer, I delved so deep into the Bible, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
I would read hours a day, just like reading and not really even understanding half of it because it's KJV. And at that time, I didn't know what I was reading. I didn't know about like other versions and cross references and commentaries or anything like that. I remember just reading. And I really fell in love with God and got obsessed with him. It's like, who is God?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Are we looking at the same stories? Where has he been my entire life? What have I been doing my entire life?
Yeah.
I want to be a part of this. I want to lose something for him.
Yeah.
I want to do something for him.
Yeah.
I want him to look at me and say, well done.
Yeah.
I want him to look at me and say, he's a man after my own heart. I want him to look at me and says, he's one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
Who is this God?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Who is this that I'm reading about? And y'all, I'm not even a reader. Like at all.
Real.
Y'all
Real.
don't understand.
I hate to read.
I be
Oh my
listening.
God.
Audio
Shout out to
books.
you version because
Shout out to Audible.
Audio.
that's
Okay.
true. This is
Audio.
true. Because
Man.
I do not read.
No,
y'all.
bro.
I
listen.
love reading more than audio, really.
That's-
like the
that's
Bible,
nice.
genuinely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a totally different.
A totally
It's
different experience.
experience.
But I was like, who is this? And it was literally like, I got to figure this out. I got to
Yeah.
live for him. I got to sacrifice him as
Yeah.
soon as I possibly can. And then it's like that coming next year was my senior year. And we're challenged to take leadership roles as a senior year and keep your other classmates accountable. And I remember that year was so life-changing for me. I got in trouble so many times. But it was
Real.
because
Mine too.
I had finally made the decision, the connection, like, whoa. Being saved and him forgiving me of my sins is great. That's cool. But what about everybody else?
Yes.
Like, what
Yes.
about this person who doesn't have the same opportunities and hear the same speakers that I hear every Sunday and Wednesday consistently without fail? It's like, what are they going to do? How are they going to hear the word, right?
Yeah.
How, I was blessed to have, certain understandings. Like, how are they going to understand this? How are they going to make through this? And it's like, I got obsessed. Oh, I got to live for God. I got to do something for him. I got to serve 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 him. Right. And that's kind of really what made that connection is I wanted to live for him. And of course, it's been a wild journey ever since. And there's even been opportunities where it's funny because in that first interaction with God, and I'm gonna make a reference to Paul because we don't talk about this a lot. First thing Paul does for God after the conversion, right? He goes and speaks in front of this church. And because it's Paul, or Saul at the time, but Paul, there's like, what are you talking about, dude? 2 seconds ago you were talking about this, now you're talking about this.
Yeah.
He talked so much with so much passion that he sent the whole arena in uproar, and they stoned him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stoned him so much that he stopped moving. They thought he was dead, and they dragged his body outside the city walls and left him there.
Yeah.
Because they thought he was dead. And then if you know the story, a dear friend, Barnabas, comes and finds him, picks him up, and that's all. There goes the story of Paul.
Right.
But I remember even having that first interaction, that level of interaction with Jesus. Satan has the first interaction too,
Yeah.
right? And he hit me hard.
Yeah.
And he hit hard. And I remember times where I would literally just drive on the highway until I couldn't see city lights anymore.
Yeah.
I turn off the headlights, get out the car, and start walking, and be yelling at the sky.
Yeah.
And like God, what is this?
Real.
What are we doing? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
I'm trying to live for you,
Yeah.
and we're doing all this, and it's like those types of interactions, because that's my first interaction where God was like, now I have your attention. Like now I can purge you. Now there's a different level of deepness and connection to it. So I just want to say, because you had made a good point, there's different levels, and I had like a couple of first, where I kind of had that interaction.
Yeah, let's help some people though, because I feel
Yeah.
like there's a pre before you fall in love. Let's rewind.
Okay.
So like, what was it like? What would you say to someone who feel like they haven't had that experience yet? Like, what do they look for? How do they know they're ready? Because it sounds like all of us, it takes a breaking process in order for you to be open up to what God has for you. So let's talk about like the pre before the experience, or before the enlightenment, before you started going full fledged. What state were you in? How did it feel? Because maybe there might be someone who's feeling how you were feeling before that you fell in love or you had that experience. Just like break down what your mindset was. What did it feel like before you had that interaction or whatever?
Confusion.
Yeah. I was going to say, going through the motions. And I think in church, it's, and that's why I feel like our bishop talks about, like, you have to stay with God so you can fall more in love with him. Because sometimes the things that you went through as a teenager is not the same when you're going in your 20s.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I look at that stark difference and that stark contrast, I just be like, whoa, all right, God, you're really with me then. Because if you held me through my teens, if you helped me, but I think with me specifically in terms of the state I was in, it was very different, I will say, because I think I was going through an identity crisis.
Yeah.
Not knowing who I was, not knowing if I was good enough to do anything. So I think that was the state that I was in. I felt like I didn't really have a purpose. I was just going through the motions. I'm just here to just be a regular kid, regular things, right? So I think that's the state I was in, really.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think I would say like inadequate. Like I just felt like, there wasn't enough for me to be used of God. Like I said, we grew up in church, and I've seen a lot of young people go forth as far as like do great things like Minister Rachel.
Yeah.
I saw Jeff and them go forth at a summit. And I always, like, before my interaction, I always had the mindset of, oh, Jeremiah, like, you can never do that. Or, just because of certain circumstances and things I've dealt with, I was just in a state of just like, like, you're useless pretty much. But having that interaction, and once you really get to know God, he can let you know that he can use anything. So I guess I'm just trying to bring
100%.
this out because I want to let people know that if you feel like that, if you feel like you're inadequate or you're not enough or you don't.
I made too many mistakes.
Yeah, or you made too many mistakes.
Very true.
God's timing is perfect, is what I'm saying.
Literally, because I would say once I really, like Andrew said, really started to live for God was the moment when he gave me a purpose.
Yeah.
When I feel like I stepped into purpose, then I was like, then my life has meaning. I
Right.
can't wake up every day and not feel like I'm going through the motions or I'm living for nothing.
Yeah.
Like I'm living for something now.
Right.
I'm living for God, right? I'm living to get people at the level for where I'm at, right?
Yeah.
Because I want them to feel the change that I feel.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
without that process before, you wouldn't appreciate it as much.
That's
Right.
what I was
That
gonna
is so
say.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's super, super important to go through that process because it's like, even if you think like back to like Old Testament, whatever, every sacrifice, everything that God like received was something that was dead, that was like hurt in some way. Yeah, burnt,
Yeah.
like something. Because if we continue to like, romanticize the world,
Yeah.
then you will never long for heaven.
Yeah.
If everything is perfect, then there's you need no solution. You need no God. So there's some way, somehow, he has to get your attention. And it's really important to find him in those moments. Like if you even think about like your closest friendships, y'all went through something together.
Yeah.
Like there is no friendship of yours that is the best or the closest friendship and everything has just always been fine.
Yeah.
And everything's always great.
Yeah.
And like that there is unfortunately
Impossible.
that's the only way to get our attention.
Yeah.
So you just have to go through that. In order to be that living sacrifice, you gotta be broken in some way.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I think. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I also think that it's more of being willing to receive, as much as it is
yeah.
seeking.
I was gonna say that.
It is, but for that first time, or when you're first like, sometimes you don't know where to seek or how
Yeah.
to
That's very
seek.
true,
Right.
yeah.
But I promise, and you will know, he will find you,
Yeah.
and he will make it very clear,
Right.
like, hey, buddy, I'm here and I have a plan. And
Yeah.
I think then it's more about putting all the things that your ideas or your desires, moving it to the side and letting your heart be open and being willing to receive. Then after that, you seek him while he may be found. But for me, again, it wasn't like, oh God, I really need this. I mean, there were some people like that. I was really just chilling as a
Yeah.
church kid. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is how I was raised. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm doing it okay, I guess. But then the Lord just
True.
stepped in. So
Yeah.
I think as it is about you do have to seek him, but
Yeah.
then also just having a heart just willing to receive when he comes and finds
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I was gonna say that. I think it's really important to answer the call when he calls.
Yes.
Because it's possible to miss it if he comes and you're
Yes.
not prepared or ready. Like David said, sometimes you may not have to do anything, but when God shows up, when he's in front of you,
Then you better do
you
something.
better do
Then
something.
you
Yes,
better do
like we all don't deserve what God has given. us.
Facts.
We're all inadequate. We're all non-deserving.
By a long
But
shot.
God is long suffering. Yeah, like you said, and He's going to give us opportunity, and He's going to give us the love that we don't deserve. But when it's there, like I love to say this, God is a gentleman. He's not going to force Himself
No, he's
upon
not.
you.
No, he's not.
You have to be open to receiving Him as well.
Yes.
So I think both sides are important as well. I agree.
You said something important, getting attention. God is going to get your attention, right? Attention is important. I think the state, and I want to talk. So when you're I want to kind of break this down between two different types of people, because you were talking about the pre stage before that first interaction with God. Let's talk about two different types of people. First, I want to talk about, this is easier to talk about, the sinner. You're not even looking, not paying attention at all, never raised in church, don't even know who God is. Like Christians, like, is weird. Like, you don't even notice. Okay, there's that type of person. God is going to wake you up. So like you 100%.
said,
yes, as long as you're romanticizing the world and you think this is what life is about, you'll never catch him.
Yeah.
And God has to. You, like they say, scientifically speaking, it's practically impossible to change someone's mind. Like you to change somebody else's mind. They have to do it themselves, or God has to do it. Right? If I be lifted up, I'll draw them into me. So as a sinner, there's no way you're gonna, like, God has to hit you hard, unfortunately, and to wake you up, get you sin sick, and someone's gonna get your attention. So that's that. But let's talk about the person who knows of God, is familiar with it, but are struggling with, like, coming home to that connection. Stop, look, or I should say watch, listen, right? And just be in silence, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean physical silence. It means like in your life, right? Just stop, look, listen, watch, hear, pay attention, right? Prophet Elijah, right? In the cave, God didn't come in the wind, the boisterous wind. He didn't come in the fire. He didn't come in the rocks falling. Still, small voice. It says specifically, he wrapped his head in the mantle. That signifies blocking out everything else in the world. You have to be like, hold on, stop. Close, isolate yourself with God. Shut the door, be intimate with him, and stop and listen and watch. And you'll see he's right in front of you. He's
That's
right
so good.
in
That's
front of
so
you.
good. I feel like people don't
that's
realize that all God wants at the end of the day is you.
Yes.
Like literally, if there's anything you can give him, people think because of the sins they've done or because of things they've done in the past and they're convicted and they feel shame that God doesn't want to use them because they're too dirty or they're too not good enough, I guess. But God loves
you.
He loves the impossible. He literally works in difficult situations. Like that is his wheelhouse. If he like, it's almost like the worse you are, the more he wants to use you. So I feel like when people get like convicted and feel like, oh, woe is me, like God can never use someone like me. If you're willing and available, God can take you and turn you into something amazing. So I think it's really important to feel like people don't put themselves in a box.
Yes.
Like,
He loves you.
Yeah, bro.
Man, I
Yes.
said that like 12 times the last episode. I'm going to say it again. He loves you.
Yeah.
He loves you. He loves you. He loves you. He loves you. He wants you.
Yeah.
He desires you.
Yeah.
He wants a relationship with you. He doesn't want to just have to tell you what to do and you do it begrudgingly. No, he wants you to love him.
Yeah.
He wants to be involved in your life. He wants to be a part of your life. He wants your heart. He seeks out a relationship and he really, really does love you. And because of that, every step that he takes is going to be for you, is going to be towards you. All you have to do is respond in like faith.
Yeah.
Right? You have to be willing, like you said, to receive that interaction with Christ. And trust me, I'm telling you, don't worry about everything afterwards. Like, man, I'm not I don't know how to pray. I've never done that. I don't know how to do church. I've never done that. I don't know how to do that. Listen, trust me. Remember, like we said before, God's hand is out. The moment you grab it, he's going to take you and you're going to take
surprised.
off.
Yeah, for
And
real.
you're going
Yes.
to take off. And God is just going to go and he's going to lead you and guide you. You're going to be trying to keep up and you can't. And God, that's exactly the way he likes it. And he's going to break you and make you and mold you. He's going to teach you so much. You're going to learn so much. And you're going to grow with him. And before you know it, you're going to be like, whoa.
Yeah.
How in the world did I get here?
Yeah.
I didn't know what any of this stuff was, 6 months ago. But just in this time, it's like, man, I feel him speaking to me. I hear him, right? I feel his touch, right? I know when he's close and when he's away.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about all that other stuff. Block out all the other stuff. Take his hand and he'll take control of the rest.
Yeah, and I do want to hit on a certain point because this is reminding me of the story of Samuel. And he's a young boy.
Yeah.
So if a young boy is responding, y'all better respond.
This is true. This is true.
And the story is so interesting because even the Bible talks about Samuel didn't even know God completely.
Yeah.
Yes, he was in the temple.
Yeah.
He know his mom gave him up. And so he only sees her once a year with new garments every time. And so it's just like he's hearing this voice and he doesn't know who it is. And he's like, Eli, did you call for me? And he's no, go to sleep. Then he's hearing the voice again. And then Eli's, no, go to sleep. Then he goes again, are you calling my name? What are you? And then Eli was like, the next time you hear that voice, you say, here I am, your servant is listening.
Yeah.
So literally he goes back
was
and
that
he does
NIV.
not know God. The Bible literally says he knew of God because he's in he's literally in a
the
setting.
temple, yeah.
He's in church. He's in the temple. He's seeing all of these people defile God's name. He's seeing everybody do what they're doing, basically, in the church, in the temple. And then he's just like, God, your servant is listening. And I always look at that moment. It's not like God literally was like, okay, Samuel, you are going to be the last judge of Israel.
Right.
You are going to be the first prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You're
God
gonna
didn't do
anoint
that.
David. What?
And you're going to literally anoint the second king of it and the first king of Israel. You're going to do all of the, like 2 of them.
No, bro.
He didn't say that to
None
him.
of those
All God required out of Samuel was for him to respond.
That's
Was
good.
all for him to listen.
Ah.
Like he wasn't asking him to be like, are you willing to do this for me? No. He didn't do that. All he did was respond. And so just like Andrew was saying, like, just respond. Just answer the call. And don't let it
Pick up
pass
the
you by.
phone,
Like
bro.
Paul, like you said with
pick
Paul,
up
like
the phone.
it's hard to kick against the prick. It's
Yeah,
hard to
it's
get
hard.
it's hard to kick against your
up the phone
conviction.
and call.
Right? Because I always see conviction as a part of love, right? I always think of conviction as per se, if you were putting your hand close to a fire, it's not necessarily you're feeling the fire, but you're feeling the heat. Like you're feeling the heat. Like I'm not getting burned, but before I'm in the fire, I'm feeling the heat.
feeling that heat.
I'm feeling what God is preventing me from getting burned from. So I would also say
No, that's really
Yeah.
good. That's really good. Oh,
If
go
I could
ahead.
say one thing
Go
before
ahead.
we wrap up. You brought up a great point in that story that I've never realized before. While you're waiting, when you don't know what to do, when you don't understand who God is, you listen to the ones that he put over you.
Yes.
He went directly to Eli. Like he wasn't sitting there and just like, what voice is that?
Right.
I don't know. Like he
Right.
literally went to Eli because that's the voice that he knows.
Yeah.
Like that's why you can't sit at home and be like, I want to experience God.
Right.
Like I want to start with what he gave you.
Yes.
He told you to assemble yourselves together.
Hey,
Start
bro, that's
with that.
facts, man.
Yeah.
That's really
You
good.
may
That's
see
facts, bro.
hypocrites. You may
Thank
see
you.
the sons of Eli.
Yeah.
You may see the Hophni and Phinehas.
That's good.
But you will experience God if you're in position, and
Right.
you have
See-
to be under the ones that he
And
put
get
you.
out of that stagnant state because he could have easily went back to sleep.
He could have.
He could
But and
have.
that's the thing. That's what people don't realize. When God is calling you and you go back to sleep, you don't know when that opportunity
You don't.
will come
You don't.
again.
You don't.
There are
You don't.
opportunities that only come once.
Facts.
And sometimes you gotta take it, man. You gotta,
You gotta
take
take it, man. God ain't got no problem closing that door. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yes.
Like God does love you. Let's be very clear.
Yes.
He does. But he is a just God.
Yes, he
Yes.
is.
And he's God.
Yes, he
Like,
is.
and he ain't got no problem closing doors.
I'm sick
Yeah.
of playing with you.
No, for real.
No, yeah, because he'll get tired of you.
And then replace you too. In a heartbeat.
It's without
We
question.
are not valuable.
Oh,
No, say it one more
gosh.
time. No, say it one more time.
God
Okay,
can replace
relax.
us in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
okay, we
he
are
can.
valuable.
Yeah, we are valuable.
We're valuable.
He can't replace
valuable
us.
part that-
It's okay. Somebody needed to be humble.
Yeah, you need to hear that.
Somebody needed to
Because
be
you
humble.
think you're doing something.
Somebody needed to be humble. Somebody needed.
I'm
no,
joking.
for real.
No, I'm saying
God
yeah.
want me.
Yeah,
Relax.
like you can never. You're never
Relax.
high.
Expendable.
There it is. You are. That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's,
No,
that's the truth.
So when he gives the opportunity, take it.
This is a two-way street,
up the
people.
phone, bro.
It is a two-way street.
two-way
You cannot expect God's gonna have you take at least a step. It just takes one step.
Yeah.
And if you take one step in the right direction, God will meet you.
Yeah.
Just pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone.
Just pick up the phone
Yep.
because it's ringing for you.
Yes.
Well, this was a great episode, guys. We had a little more to talk about. Did you have some more, David, you wanted to share? Okay, no. He looked like he was about to say
Oh,
something.
well, so my
I was right.
screensaver is Psalm 72:18. Bishop said this at the conference. It says, "Blessed be the Lord God, the God of Israel, who only doeth wondrous things."
Mm.
And that impacted me so much because of the only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like he does wondrous things. No, that's all he does.
Yeah.
Not even specialty.
true, 'cause
That's
they're
the only thing he does.
Yeah.
Thing.
So
Wow. All right.
I've also felt the I'm not good enough. I'll never. The devil, I'm sure, has hit everybody with that a few
Yeah.
times. But that's only what God does is wondrous.
Right.
Anything less than that is not Him.
Yeah.
So no reason to fear, no reason to worry.
Yeah. So
God's
open your
wonders.
eyes.
Yes.
Look around. Look at the sky. Look at the mountains. Look at the thunder and the sea. If he can do all that, he can most definitely help you. So
Can and will.
Yeah.
this was beautiful.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this conversation.
That's good.
If you have had your encounter, keep going. Keep loving God. Keep striving for more because it's endless. I promise.
Yes, and
it's
also,
endless.
if you all are watching this video and you had an encounter with God, put it in the comments.
Please do.
We would love
Let us
to
know
hear
your
it.
story.
Let's make this a whole
what you do on
community
YouTube.
of testimonies so we can reach
Yes.
more people so that they can have their first
Put it in
encounter.
the
All of you. Okay. If I see 53 views and I don't see 53 comments,
It's a
y'all
problem.
Didn't do it.
It's a problem.
Y'all didn't do it. Y'all
a
didn't do
problem.
it. But yeah, thank you for sitting in with us on this conversation. Oh, I also want to say, if you have not had that encounter yet, don't be discouraged.
Yes.
God loves you, and His timing is perfect.
Every
That
time.
Just keep
part.
going,
Every time.
keep going,
Every single time.
and He will meet you smack dab in the middle
Bingo.
and
Yeah.
hit you with something you never expected before.
What?
We're talking too long. Have a great rest of your night, morning, day, evening,
Weekend.
lunch, weekend,
Week.
whatever. Whenever you're watching this, be encouraged, and we'll catch you later.
We'll catch you later.
Catch you later.